her sadly in the slowly falling rain, crying softly in her loneliness and pain, knowing no one, needing someone bad as me. And she told me as I held her trembling hand, walking slowly, how she's never known a man living lonely in her cottage by the sea. When the morning came, her tears had changed to laughter, and before the night her heart beat close to mine. And I thought as she lay sleeping of the secret she was keeping, hidden somewhere in the silence of the shadows of her mind. In the morning, as I wakened with the dawn, without a warning, I could feel that she was gone, leaving nothing but her silence next to me, and lonely footprints that I followed in the sand, walking slowly, for I knew where they would end, disappearing into the silence of the sea. And I sometimes hear the echo of her laughter as I search for what I know I'll never find. For the answer I was seeking was the secret she's still keeping, hidden somewhere in the silence of the shadow of her mind, hidden somewhere in the silence of the shadows of her mind.
I dreamed of you a million times, but never thought that you'd be mine, until you smiled at me that day. Now I know love is here to stay. Your lovely hair and pretty eyes, with fancy clothes you light the skies. My other dreams have now all gone, but my dreams of you live on. Dream queen, when you're near me, my blues take wings. Always pray, dear, that you'll stay near. I'll never lose you, my dream queen. Your lovely hair and pretty eyes, with fancy clothes you light the skies. My other dreams have now all gone, but my dreams of you live on. Dream queen, when you're near me, my you'll stay near. I'll never lose you, my dream queen.
There on a hill stood our symbol of peace. It made all men want to be free. Just a small building, it stood for so long. It was all a church needed to be. But they say that progress is a thing of today, so they borrowed and they started to build. Now it's only a clubhouse rated AAA, and it's full of sin and of guilt. If you feel an unfriendly atmosphere, if you feel you've been left in the lurch, if you feel it's so cold you could skate down the aisles, you just entered our country club church. Oh, where did the church of our forefathers go? Where in the good book they did search? Don't soil our carpet, don't scratch our pews, you belong to our country club church. Well, it's made of cut stone and great arches of wood, with its bowling alleys and gym. And the preacher, he started running around with women. Lord knows what happened to him. So come in with your fancied up dresses to show, and sit on your high lofty perch, 'cause that's all in the world that you came here to do. You just entered our country club church. Oh, where did the church of our forefathers go? Where in the good book they did search? Don't soil our carpet, don't scratch our pews, you just entered our country club church, yeah. Don't soil our carpet, don't scratch our pews, you belong to our country club church.
The sun keeps shining and the moon shines bright, I'll love you, my baby, every day and night. My love can move the mountains, the wind of the sea. This I'll prove to you, love, if you will stick by me. I love you, my baby, with all my heart. So much, my baby, why should we be apart? As long as the sun keeps shining, there'll be light in the day. That's how long I'll wait for you, till you see things my way. I love you, my baby, see things my way.
Howdy, folks. My name is Dick Flood, and I'd like to invite you to take just a few minutes of your time and give a listen to some of the sounds from my fabulous little group, the Pathfinders, one of the finest, most versatile little units to come out of Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. First, let me introduce them to you. Randy Charles on guitar, Laughin' Larry Hanley on the drums, Wild Billy Benton on the bass. We've taken just a few parts of many of the tunes we do and put them on this disc. Let's give a listen now to the sounds of the fabulous Pathfinders. Here's the sounds of Randy Charles on his guitar, the country sounds of Buckaroo. This is Laughin' Larry Hanley on the drums, one of the finest drummers in existence.
They call me a playboy.
And here is Wild Billy Benton.
Mr. Bartender, bring me some change. And while you're at it, you can pour me a drink. For there's a song on the jukebox that's driving me insane. And I've got to hear that hurting song again. Please tell that waitress not to laugh at me, for I can't help it if I'm so full of misery. Give me one more pass of courage and $1 worth of change, for I've got to hear that hurting song again. They must have wrote that song about me. It sure does fit the mood I'm in. That melody, it just reminds me that my baby's gone and won't be back again. So pour me a drink, then give me my change, for I've got to hear that hurting song again. So come on, bartender, pour me a drink, then give me my change, for I've got to hear that hurting song again. Yes, I've got to hear that hurting song again.
Why do you do me who that knocking, baby? Who that knocking, knocking at my front door? Why it must be my baby that I long to see? 'Cause it gets so dark and lonesome when she knocking at my front door. Why keep that candle burning, burning night and day, so my baby can see the light when she come my way. Start that knocking, knocking at my front door. Who that knocking?
This is a story of a train conductor by the name of Joe Baldwin. Old Joe, as he was called, was riding on a train at a station called Maco, a small place about 14 miles from Wilmington, North Carolina. The story goes that in 1868, while on this train in the caboose, old Joe felt the caboose come uncoupled from the rest of the train. He knew that another train was following close behind, and in desperation he grabbed a lantern to try to stop the approaching train. There was a terrible crash, and in the wreck old Joe was decapitated. Since then, there has been a mysterious light on the tracks on moonless, misty nights. Legend has it that it is old Joe Baldwin looking for his head.
Now this is a true story that's never lost its fame, about a brave and fearless man. Joe Baldwin was his name. Joe Baldwin was his name. On a dark and lonely, dreary night in the year of '68, his car broke away from a train of loaded freight, train of loaded freight. Joe Baldwin was a man so true and brave. He flagged the train, but all in vain. Now he's lying in his grave, lying in his grave. He was 14 miles from Wilmington, a town in Carolina, when he looked and saw another train coming up behind, coming up behind. He quickly grabbed his lantern and began to wave the light, but all in vain. His fate was all laid out for him that night, laid out for him that night. Joe Baldwin was a man so true and brave. He flagged the train, but all in vain. Now he's lying in his grave, lying in his grave. Now near the wreck they found old Joe without his head, they say, and now at night you can see the light until this very day, till this very day. In Maco, Carolina, if you should ever tread, come and watch old Joe running up the track, still looking for his head, looking for his head. Joe Baldwin was a man so true and brave. He flagged the train, but all in vain. Now he's lying in his grave, lying in his grave.
Won't you accept the love I offer? It's yours to possess at your command. I know you had a love that didn't last, but please don't be afraid to try again. Don't be afraid to let me hold you. Don't pull away from my touch. I'll try to make you forget your heartache, 'cause to me you mean so much. please don't be afraid to try again. Don't be afraid to let me hold you. Don't pull away from my touch. I'll try to make you forget your heartache. 'Cause to me you mean so much. Yes, to me you mean so much. My letters read her. Alone with the memory of love that was burned, thinking of you, darling, and lesson I have learned. Where all of my heartaches is this all I've learned? Where have you wandered, my letter? I searched for you, darling, with tears in my heart. Thought if I found you, we'd make another start. But now that I found you, no words can I say. So I wrote this letter on this fake day. Alone with the memory of love that was burned, thinking of you, darling, and lessons I have learned. For all of my heartaches, is this all I've learned? Where have you wandered, my letter? Oh, why does your memories haunt me each day? Know that I should laugh now that you've gone away. Well, and I can spend together with you by my side, but never outnumber the many nights of time. Alone with the memory of love that was burned, thinking of you, darling, and lesson I have learned. Heard all of my heartaches, is this all I've learned? Where have you wandered, my letters?
This world has been looking and longing for hundreds and hundreds of years, for someone to share in its sorrow, for someone to share in its tears. Jesus left his Father and angels to bring down this message so true. And now that he's gone back to heaven, does the world see Jesus in you? When you speak, does the world think of Jesus? When you sing, does Jesus sing too? As you go through this world with its sorrow, does the world see Jesus in you? Does your shadows like Peter's cure sickness? Do they call you beloved like John? Can you go through the fire like the Hebrews? Like Paul, can you make demons run? Does your words bring conviction to sinners? Has the Lord always found you true blue? And at your side, do they always find Jesus? Does the world see Jesus in you? When you speak, does the world think of Jesus? When you sing, does Jesus sing too? As you go through this world with its sorrow, does the world see Jesus in you? Troubles come and I can't find an answer. Lonely nights I've spent in agony. I have no other friend that I can turn to. So here I am, Lord, back upon my knees. It's me again, Lord. I got a prayer that needs an answer. It's me again, Lord. I got a problem I can't solve. I don't mean to worry you, but here I am facing something new, and I need help that only comes from you. I know you're mighty busy in your health fund, forming worlds and hanging stars that shine. But you promised if I'd ask that I'd receive it. So here I am, Lord, asking one more time. It's me again, Lord. I got a prayer that needs an answer. It's me again, Lord. I got a problem I can't solve. I don't mean to worry you, but here I am facing something new, and I need help that only comes from you.
Head stands in the corner with the barrel so straight. I looked out the window and over the gate. The big fat rabbits are jumping in the grass. Wait till they hear my old shotgun blast. Shotgun boogie, I done saw your track. Look out, Mr. Rabbit, when I cock my hammer back. Well, over on the ridge in the scaly barn, hickory nuts so big you can see 'em in the dark. The big fat squirrels, they scratch and they fight. I'll be on that ridge before daylight with the shotgun boogie. All I need is one shot. Look out, bushy tail, tonight you'll be in a pot. She was tall and thin. I asked her what she had. She said a Fox 410. I looked her up and down and said, boy, this is luck. We headed for the brush to shoot a big fat duck. Shotgun boogie. Boy, the feathers flew. Look out, Mr. Duck, she draws a bead on you. I sat down in a log, took her on my lap. She said, "Admitted, bud, you got to see my pap. 16 gauge, choked down like a rifle. He don't like a man that's gonna trifle. Shotgun boogie, draws a bead so fine. Look out, big boy, he's loaded all the time." like a gentleman oughter. He said no brush hunter's gonna get my daughter. He cocked back the hammer right on the spot. When the gun went off, I outrun the shot. Shotgun boogie, I want a wedding bells. I'll be back, little gal, when your pat runs out of shells.
Spanish is a loving tongue, soft as music, light as spring. 'Twas a girl I learned it from, living down Sonora way.
Now, this story is about an old truck driver that I saw hitchhiking up in Virginia. I picked him up and let him ride, and this is a story that he told me about getting sacked up with radar and put to walking. If you want to find radar, here's how to do it. Just get in a truck and lay right to it. When you get to Virginia by the radar stand, the trooper will be awaiting with a ticket in his hand. Have your registration, your driver's license, a little money too. Well, the funniest thing that I ever did see was a radar sitting on the top of a tree, and the state patrolman was sitting on the ground waiting for the truckers to come on down. He's got binoculars, walkie-talkie, and a fast forward too. Well, I'm running down the road and I'm running wild, and the JP, he said with a smile, I know that boy, and they'll bring him back, 'cause I seen on the front he was wheeling a mag. I had her smoking, in high gear. I was getting on it. Well, I went through the radar at 74, and the trooper said, you won't do it no more. I said to the trooper, won't you turn me loose? He said, boy, they're gonna cook your goose. They'll put you to walking, hitchhiking, trying to find a job. I said to the judge, I've got no bail. He said, boy, you're going to jail. I got on the phone, calling home, I need the money. Now, just one thing I'd like to know. I like to know it before I go. If the truckers all 45 would run and the state trooper couldn't catch near one and they couldn't get you with their radar gimmick, I wonder then if they'd lower the limit.
My daddy was a good old preacher man. Yes, he's preached all over this land. He'd preach to the people and try to help them to understand. He'd preach about Jesus and his saving grace. He'd preach till the tears ran down his face. My daddy was a good old Baptist preaching man. He'd preach about Daniel and the lion's den. He'd preach about a place where there'll be no sin. He'd preach about love. He'd preach about heaven and its beauty grand. When he prayed, it was a lonesome sound. He'd pray for the boys on the battleground. Yes, my daddy was a good old Baptist preaching man. My mother would go to church with him. everybody loved both of them. He'd preach about David, he'd preach about the kingdom and that good land. He'd go preach both far and wide. To preach Jesus, he was satisfied. Yes, my daddy was a good old Baptist preaching man. Many times I've heard him say, Jesus, give me strength from day to day. Many times I've seen him preach till he could hardly stand. No matter what the weather, cold or hot, my daddy go preach no matter what. Yes, my daddy was a good old Baptist preaching man. My daddy was a good old preacher man. Yes, he's preached all over this land. He'd preach to the people and try to help them to understand. He'd preach about Jesus and his saving grace. He'd preach till the tears ran down his face. Yes, my daddy was a good old Baptist preaching man. Yes, my daddy was a good old Baptist preaching man.
Billy the Kid, Billy the Kid. A reckless desperado was Billy the Kid. 'Twas back in 1881 the story had its start, and William Bonney was the one who played the leading part. He murdered, robbed, and plundered, all these things are what he did. Young William Bonney, better known as Billy the Kid. The time was April 28th, the place was Lincoln Town. It happened without warning as the evening sun went down. The old folks still recall that fateful day so long ago, the moment when all hell broke loose in old New Mexico. Billy the Kid, Billy the Kid, he murdered, robbed, and plundered, did Billy the Kid. The piano player at LaRue's banged out a lively tune, not knowing that the blood of someone would be flowing soon. And Ollinger, the marshal's deputy, shined up his scar while waiting to be served his evening meal at LaRue's bar. Billy the Kid, Billy the Kid, a reckless desperado was Billy the Kid. Deputy brings in the prisoner's supper on a tray as he unlocks the handcuffs in the jail across the way. The blow upon his head makes him regret the thing he did. Too late he learned the prisoner was Billy the Kid. Billy grabbed the lawman's gun and keyring hurriedly. He rushes to the window and spies the other deputy. He calls out, "Hello, Ollie," as he takes him by surprise. And the kid shot catches Ollinger right square between the eyes. Billy the Kid, Billy the Kid, another life is taken by Billy the Kid. He rushes out the door, and while he holds the crowd at bay, he spied a saddled horse and mounting makes his getaway. But he who liveth by the gun must perish by the gun. And 10 weeks later, William Bonney's life on earth was done. 'Twas on July the 14th back in 1881 when Billy's life was ended at the age of 21. He met up with Pat Garrett, the brave sheriff, it is said. And when the smoke had cleared away, the kid lay stretched out dead. Billy the Kid, Billy the Kid. So ends the tragic story of Billy the Kid. So ends the tragic story of Billy the Kid.
Once a man named Stephen preached
bride they heard Stephen cried aloud. I see Jesus standing at the Father's right hand. I see Jesus yonder in the promised land. Work is over, now I'm coming to thee. I see Jesus standing, waiting for me. Through the gates of glory, down the streets of gold, marched a hero of the Lord into heaven's fold. Waiting there the Savior at the great white throne. I believe God smiled and said, Stephen, welcome home. I see Jesus standing at the Father's right hand.